So the one day I miss the football and all hell breaks loose in the Premier League. Nottingham Forest put 7 past Brighton, a Chris Wood hat-trick, Anthony Elanga with a hat-trick of assists, and that is some way to respond after getting battered 5-0 by Bournemouth just last week. I mean, that is a 12-goal swing, and Nuno Espirito Santos played an extra defender in a 3-4-3 and absolutely blitzed them. It's incredible stuff. And Forest now are in third position and they're very much here to stay and play Champions League football next season. But as for Brighton, yes, Carlos Baleba and the Ayari pivot was a huge miss. We can't undersell that. But to get hit for 7, my goodness, Fabian Hertzler is learning some painful lessons in his first season in the league. But as for Liverpool, Mo Salah's brace strengthened their position at the top. Salah's 20th and 21st for the season stopped Bournemouth's unbeaten run. And now Mo Salah is in the 6th position in the all-time Premier League goal-scoring charts, overtaking Frank Lampard, and is now just 6 goals behind Sergio Aguero and 9 behind Andy Cole in 4th. The production, the staggering numbers continue for Mo Salah, and surely now Liverpool might feel that they have one hand on the trophy with Arsenal taking on Manchester City tonight. Villa, on the other hand, they had a surprising loss to Wolves, who finally climbed out of the relegation zone. I really like the look of Vito Pereira as a coach, and Matheus Cunha signed a new deal, so it's onwards and upwards for Wolves. We might see them start climbing the table as their team is too good to be in 17th. But as for Unai Emery and Aston Villa, a bit of a blow considering the reshuffling that's happening in the background. This was expected because during the week the news broke that John Duran was off to Al Nasser in Saudi Arabia. A 50 million profit for an 18-month investment is very good from a club point of view. But with that, what they have is now a pretty much new front three to play behind Ollie Watkins, the striker. They signed Daniel Malin from Dortmund, and now Marco Asensio and Marcus Rashford from PSG and Manchester United respectively on loan. Real ambition shown by Aston Villa as they continue to push up the league and make waves in the Champions League. But Villa lost an important profile of a striker, which is very rare in the modern game. But fair play to John Duran, man. Just look at his story. At 21, he's going to be making real money now, playing alongside Aymeric Laporte, Marcelo Brozovic, Sadio Mane, and Cristiano Ronaldo. That is amazing. And the pathway to Europe is very much there if he plays his cards right. What else happened? Oh, Real Madrid lost 1-0 to 17th place Espanyol to cut their lead at the top to just 1 point, with Atletico Madrid chasing them down Cholo, Diego Simeone style. It sets up their potentially title-defining clash at the Santiago Bernabeu very nicely. It is a big game, that. And then you just scroll through the news on a chill Sunday, and then something titanic breaks in the world of NBA, and it's gotten that part of the world in an absolute frenzy. So Shams Charania, the David Ornstein, Fabrizio Romano of the NBA, broke the news that Dallas Mavericks approached the Los Angeles Lakers to essentially trade their franchise player Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis, and no one saw this coming. I saw that and immediately I go on X to check if the news which I just read on X is true or not, because you cannot trust what you see on the internet. Maybe he's been hacked, who knows, because this doesn't happen mid-season out of the blue just like that. I mean, Shams even had to tweet an hour later that the news was 1000% true. Now, since my content leans heavily on football, if I were to explain this trade in football terms, this is me just trying to draw parallels just for a bit of fun. This is like Arsenal in the January transfer window selling Bukayo Saka to acquire Mo Salah. Now, Saka came through the Arsenal Academy and Doncic came through the draft for Mavericks with a huge reputation playing men's basketball for Real Madrid at 16. Now, both players full of potential have now undoubtedly become the franchise players in their prime. Now, Saka is 23, Luka is 25. Incredible production numbers, incredible numbers really, and both are getting very close to the big prizes, not having tasted success yet, but you just feel that is just going to happen. Anthony Davis, on the other hand, he's 31. I compare that to Mo Salah, who's 32. They both have one title each. Both came when the seasons were being played behind closed doors. And when on song, they are just top players and indispensable to their team's system and success. So, yeah, can you see that happening in the Premier League? I don't think so. But this has happened and it has just broken the NBA world. In my opinion, it's hard to see LeBron James sanctioning this deal considering how he and Davis are as a duo. Bron recruited Davis to the Lakers in 2019-2020, breaking all sorts of tampering laws. They won the championship in their first season together, and both are represented by the same agency in Clutch Sports. But LeBron James has publicly said that the two players that he would like to play alongside were Steph Curry and Luka Doncic. And Luka is now a Laker. That is potentially franchise altering. It has come out of the blue, and I would love to know the actual reason why the Mavs front office picked up the phone and made the call to trade Luka. That being said, it's a good trade for Dallas too. I mean, they get Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and LA's 2029 first pick. And that Kyrie Irving-Anthony Davis duo looks pretty tasty on paper. With Davis, the only question ever has been about his health. He's averaging 25.7 points with 12 rebounds. Those are very good numbers. And having to play center when he clearly prefers playing in the power forward position. But what the Lakers will gain in the offense, the triple-double, triple threat scoring of Luka with JJ Redick emphasizing the three ball, Luka fits that perfectly, and he can run the point, taking some of that load off LeBron James. But what they will lose and sorely miss is the defensive monster that Anthony Davis can be. He is elite in that department, while Luka, on the other hand, doesn't play a lick of defense. But fair play to JJ Redick, man. He has played his cards perfectly after retirement. Killed it in the podcast game, lands his first ever coaching job as the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. He has them in 5th in the Western Conference, coaching LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And now, even if it goes down the drain for him, he will have coached the duo of Luka Doncic and LeBron James. That is incredible. By the way, LeBron James, without Anthony Davis, dropped a 33-point triple-double, aged 40 against third seed New York Knicks, who were pretty much at full strength at Madison Square Garden. He continues to elevate and astound, and now he has a new running mate in Luka Doncic. That is box office stuff, man. And speaking of box office, Israel Adesanya was back in action in UFC Fight Week. I always root for Izzy, man, but it's now 3 losses in a row for the former middleweight champion. He lost the belt to Sean Strickland in an upset, then got choked out by Dricus du Plessis in UFC 305, and today suffered a devastating knockout against Nusruddin Imavov in round 2 of the main event. It's back to the drawing board for Izzy, and I'm not sure when or who he fights next. It's going to be a very, very tricky period for Israel Adesanya. But the fight of the card was Shara versus Michael Page, MVP in the co-main. It was 3 rounds of crisp, loud and hard hits. Shara's undefeated in the UFC until today has shown what a creative finisher he is in the octagon. You remember his double back fist KO against Petrosyan? It was sensational. But Michael Page was just superb on the night today, and he took the middleweight fight on decision and makes move in the middleweight division.